Hi everyone, thank you for joining us on our Thursday TNT. I've been a bit in the wars the last couple of days. Now, a few people were asking about this scratch on my head. That was a gardening accident. A plant jumped out and attacked me, or something like that. Bougainvilleas, the nasty things, look pretty nice when they're in full flower, but very sharp bits and pieces. And then last night we had a cat come into the house. Dusty, my black cat, decided he didn't like that idea and decided to chase it around, and there was a lot of fighting and screaming going on. So, of course, the rule is don't get in between fighting cats. Of course, I did, and ended up getting a nice bite, and I think it's all going to be okay, but boy, it's really, really sore. I think it was Dusty's 4 teeth that dug in deep. So I'm going to head down to the clinic after this, but I think I'll probably retain the use of my right hand at some stage, but very, very painful at the moment, such that it's quite difficult even to hold my magic wand. Let's get into some stories, and we go to Calsod English for a quick reminder with what's happening with this 10,000 baht digital wallet. All sectors have agreed now, says the Prime Minister, so wait for the good news on April the 10th. This is a payment, some 10,000 baht that's going to be made to every Thai, I think over the age of 16. I'm sure there'll be lots of conditions, and it's not exactly clear when or how it's going to be all rolled out, but it looks like it will be going ahead, and some further announcements on April the 10th. Big story yesterday covered not only here in Thailand but in international media. The Calsod English Facebook page saying breaking wins. The House of Representatives on March 27 passed the same-sex marriage bill to allow for same-sex marriage through its third reading. Now, it was covered in all international media. BBC, Thailand moves to legalise same-sex marriage. Bangkok Post, House passes landmark marriage equality bill. CNN, Thailand's lower house passes bill to legalise same-sex marriage. Reuters, Thailand moves closer to legalising same-sex union as Parliament passes landmark bill. The Guardian, New York Times, AP, Al Jazeera. Let's go to the Associated Press story on this. Lawmakers in Thailand overwhelmingly approve a bill to legalise same-sex marriage. And lawmakers in Thailand's lower house of parliament overwhelmingly approved a marriage equality bill on Wednesday that would make the country the first in Southeast Asia to legalise equal rights for marriage partners of any gender. The bill passed its final reading with the approval of 400 of the 415 members of the House of Representatives in attendance, 10 voting against, 2 abstaining, and 3 not voting. Not sure what the difference is between abstaining and not voting. I suppose abstaining is, I'm not voting, but not voting is, just not voting. And Thailand has a reputation for acceptance and inclusivity, but has struggled for decades to pass a marriage equality law. Thai society largely holds conservative values, and members of the LGBTQ+ community say they face discrimination in everyday life. And what from here? Well, the bill now goes to the Senate, which rarely rejects any legislation that passes the lower house, and then to His Majesty the King for royal endorsement. This would make Thailand the first country or region in Southeast Asia to pass such a law, and the third in Asia after Taiwan and Nepal. So what exactly has changed? Well, the bill amends the Civil and Commercial Code to change the words men and women and husband and wife to individuals and marriage partners. It would open up access to full legal, financial and medical rights for LGBTQ+ couples. A bit of a personal perspective here on ThaiPBSWorld.com. British ambassador on same-sex marriage in the UK and gender equality in Thailand. The photo there of the British ambassador Mark Gooding and his husband Dr. Christopher McCormick. And the ambassador said it's the 10th anniversary of the first same-sex weddings in the UK, but I think it also marks decades of progress in the UK on LGBTQ+ rights. And he mentioned that while they've been posted to several countries before Thailand, including Sri Lanka, China and Cambodia, they say they've never experienced difficulties living as a gay couple outside of the UK, and they've been warmly welcomed, especially in Thailand. And he said, "I have to say that here in Thailand, Chris and I have had a very positive experience. We've been coming to Thailand for many years, both for holidays and for work trips, and we've been welcomed strongly. So we find Thailand to be a very inclusive and diverse society." So not quite over the finish line yet, does have to go to the Senate and then get a royal endorsement, but it looks like at last Thailand has passed its same-sex marriage laws. And a big thanks to our sponsor 5-Star Marine at 5starmarinephuket.com. Heading out of their headquarters there in Boat Lagoon in Koh Kao, Phuket. They'll take you out on a bespoke charter tour out to the beautiful island of Phangar Bay. So a big thumbs up and a full endorsement to Sean and the team at 5-Star Marine. All right, to follow up on a story yesterday, those monkeys in Lopburi in sort of central Thailand, not making it easy to be rounded up and sort of sorted out. BangkokPost.com reporting police form new special monkey unit. And a special police unit's been formed to capture aggressive macaque monkeys that cause trouble for residents in the Central Plains province. And they've set up the Special Monkey Suppression Unit, which began operations on Monday, and they've even approved the procurement of slingshots for police officers to use against aggressive monkeys. And previously, police were shooting monkeys with sedatives, but it takes at least 5 minutes for the animals to become sedated. By that time, they could flee to another place, including reaching the tops of buildings, which could pose a danger to people. The move comes after the Natural Resources and Environment Ministry on Saturday agreed to compensate people attacked by macaques amid a surge of incidents in Lopburi, including at least 3 major cases this month. And more than 10 officials have been deployed to deal with the monkeys around the Provincial Agriculture and Cooperatives Office. Monkeys have been troubling residents in Lopburi for several years, with a recent study finding there was a population of 5,709 living wild in the province in 2023. But the macaques are protected by the Wildlife Conservation and Protection Act. I'm not sure if the Wildlife Conservation and Protection Act covers the use of slingshots, but it looks like they are getting deadly serious in the control of macaques up there in Lopburi. Now, another story that's been going around for a long time, and this one, I think at least 15 or so years. I've covered it several times, and it involves a unit called the GT200, and it was meant to be a bomb detector. The problem was it wasn't, and a lot of people have been dragged kicking and screaming into the headlines on this story. But it has had some sort of resolution. And ThaiPBSWorld.com reporting blue sky after the storm, according to Senator Porntip. She's criticised the NACC after the Criminal Court for Corruption and Misconduct cases cleared her and 9 former colleagues at the Justice Ministry's Central Institute of Forensic Science on Tuesday of corruption charges related to the procurement of 6 GT200 bomb detectors. That was 14 years ago. Of course, they did turn out to be fake. The court ruled that there was no evidence whatsoever to suggest that Kunying Porntip or the 9 co-defendants were involved in malpractice or sought ill-gotten gains from the deal as charged by the NACC. And there's a quote from her, but probably more interesting a bit further down. The Army procured 757 GT200s in 2007. The Royal Navy procured 38 GT200s, Royal Thai Air Force. They bought 26 of the devices, and the Royal Aide-de-Camp Department's procurement, they bought 8. All these military departments bought these fake bomb detectors, even though there was a unit that did special testing, and they charged for the pleasure. And the NSTDA explained its 7.57 million Thai baht test fee for the bogus GT200 bomb detectors. This story back from June in 2022. And the National Science and Technology Development Agency issued a statement insisting its tests on the so-called GT200 bomb detecting devices were done transparently. And they were hired by the Royal Thai Army for 7.57 million baht, or that's 10,000 baht per piece, to test all 757 GT200 devices to confirm They were useless pieces of plastic. And the Royal Thai Army had reportedly been duped by a British company and a Thai distributor into buying these devices with the belief that they can be used to detect both drugs and bombs. And the minister from the Move Forward party had asked why the army had wasted 7.5 million baht when it already knew the so-called GT200 were nothing but pieces of plastic with no electronic circuits inside. So here is one. I mean, it literally is an old-fashioned car antenna attached to a piece of moulded plastic with absolutely nothing inside it. And so they bought, the Thai military forces, over 1,000 of these things. Nobody seemed to have the presence of mind to open one up and have a bit of a quick look inside before paying some 10,000 baht for each of the units that would detect bombs and drugs. Magic! But at least one senator has been cleared of malpractice over these purchases. A bit of a fracas in Pattaya a few nights ago. We go to thepattayanews.com. Thai and Chinese people fight over woman in Pattaya in dramatic car chase. And a group of Thai people and another group of Chinese tourists reportedly fought over a woman in front of a nightclub in Pattaya on Tuesday night. It even included a dramatic car chase. Now, there is video of this incident, but basically it's pretty hard to see what's going on. But it involved 3 or 4 vans, not cars, sort of in a roller derby and just crashing into each other, all over, apparently, a woman. Let's see if we can find out more. And according to the local media, the incident took place during nighttime at the front of a nightclub that 2 groups of customers, including Thai people and Chinese tourists, were hanging out in the club, where a birthday party of a Thai woman who was a girlfriend of one of the Thai men was being celebrated. It was understood that the Chinese men began the altercation because one of the Chinese men was also allegedly a boyfriend of the Thai man's girlfriend. The nature of the events leading up to the fight were unclear, but both groups subsequently left the venue and chased each other around in their cars, sort of in the car park. Both groups were taken to the local police station where their statements were documented. However, both parties were eventually released without being charged immediately. So, yes, sometimes that girl in the bar who's told you that she loves you, she might have 3 or 4 men on the go at the same time and also be married. That's sort of the way it works. Bangkok Post reporting Toyota to make electric pickups in Thailand. Toyota's been a little bit late to the party as far as electric vehicles are concerned, including manufacture here in Thailand, but it looks like that might be about to change. Quick photo there of the Bangkok Motor Show in action yesterday. And I was actually going to go to the motor show next Monday, but I was checking airfares from Phuket to the Don Mueang airport up in Bangkok, because that's quite close to the arena where they're holding the motor show. But the fares were like, the cheapest fare was about 4,000 baht one way, going up to 7, 8, 9,000 baht. I checked on a few different airlines, not that they all fly to Don Mueang, but same sort of prices. So end result, I'm not going. But the Japanese automaker Toyota wants to benefit from the rapid growth of the electric vehicle industry in Thailand by manufacturing electric pickup trucks in the country, a move viewed by industry observers as a fresh effort to revamp its development of zero-emission cars. Now, given the popularity of the pickup truck as a vehicle of choice here in Thailand, it's sort of been a bit of a surprise that none of the manufacturers have come up so far in Thailand with an EV pickup. But it looks like that's going to be changing soon. And the company plans to produce battery-powered pickups at 2 factories, one in the Samron district of Samut Prakan and the other at the Gateway City Industrial Estate in Chachoengsao. And the president of Toyota Motor Thailand says we'll produce battery-powered Toyota Hilux pickups. Electric pickups suit customer demand and support the carbon neutrality campaign. Another bit of news from the motor show, VinFast signs deals with 15 dealers in Thailand. This is another EV brand, the VinFast, manufactured in Vietnam. And Vietnamese electric vehicle maker VinFast said yesterday that it signed partnership agreements with 15 dealers in Thailand, its latest effort to expand in Southeast Asia. And the FTI reported that car sales in Thailand continued to decline, especially in the pickup segment, falling by 26% year-on-year in February. In addition, car production in the country fell by 19.3% last month from a year earlier, largely due to a decline in production of pickup trucks and more imported EVs. So EVs are sort of where it's at as far as the trend in car manufacturing here in Thailand. A lot of the Chinese car makers now starting to manufacture in Thailand, and a lot of the legacy car manufacturers looking to find some way of getting into the action as well. And with that, hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. I'm off to the clinic to get attended to, but hopefully I'll return with two hands tomorrow. Please subscribe to the channel. Please also support our sponsor, 5 Star Marine, and we'll see you again tomorrow.